You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and Beautiful fans. It is Belynda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your weekly B&B prediction edition. As always, these predictions are based on official spoilers, which of course I will tell you what they are, what they say, the dates for them, all of that, and then we'll discuss where these plots are heading. And I want to hear from you on what you would like to see happen next. We're going to talk about Sheila and Deacon's wedding, Thomas and Douglas, and also Luna, the mysterious new intern. But hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. And at the end, when I'm done with the predictions, I want to give you guys some 411 about this John McCook contract nonsense. And it is nonsense. And I have the receipts. And it's just exhausting playing clickbait whack-a-mole, trying to expect better of people and for them to show journalistic integrity, which they're not, but I will. And I'm going to explain it all to you, but that's after the predictions. I was going to do a whole video on it, but I don't even want to give it that much airtime, but I do want to address the misconceptions and the clickbait and the lies you're being fed. Okay. Our first prediction is about Sheila and Deacon's wedding. Looks like it's going to be really dark and not well attended. Those are my predictions. So Sheila Carter and Deacon Sharpe are not likely going to get a lot of RSVP yes replies to their wedding invitations or their save the date cards. And who can blame anybody? Finn is absolutely horrified that Deacon sprang his mom on him when he came over to Il Giardino, because Finn's not supposed to be anywhere near that woman. Even sitting at a table at the pizzeria is bad optics if anybody sees Finn with Sheila at his side and reports it back to his wife, who left him over the woman. Next week, official spoilers say Hope Logan is completely stunned to find out her dad's in love with the nine-toed terror of LA. I cannot imagine that Hope is going to be throwing Sheila a bachelorette party or a bridal shower. Next week, spoilers for October 12th have Hope running to tattle the Sheila and Deacon engagement news to her mom and Ridge. So I can see Ridge and Bill going over and taking a water hose to Deacon like you do a dog in heat that keeps humping everything, but I don't think it's going to calm Deacon down. Then, Friday the 13th, official spoilers say Ridge admits to Brooke he knew Deacon was involved with Sheila, at least in the past. So Brooke and Ridge then trek over to confront Deacon. And the following week, Brooke reminds Deacon of everything he stand to lose. Those are all confirmed spoilers. So predictions, I predict that Deacon and Sheila will still push forward with their wedding plans, even if no one is going to show up to see them say I do. So I do wonder how dark their wedding will be after a new video that Sean Kanan posted that was behind the scenes at Bold and the Beautiful. It was a photo shoot, but I have an inkling based on their outfits that it might have been from their wedding. I'm going to show you the video really quickly. It's a super short little video.
Rolling.
All right. So you see that he is in a suit. It's dark. It's very textured. It's interesting. She's in a black dress with a fancy, like, little gold chain sort of detail. So this, to me, is one of two things. First, it could be a new press photo for the couple that's going to go on the Paramount Press site. I'm keeping an eye and checking there to see if it shows up. But just maybe these are their very dark, very strange wedding outfits. I mean, considering how dark both Sheila and Deacon can be at times, her as a bride in black makes perfect sense to me. They look fantastic, but I really wonder, and now that you guys have seen the video, you can join me in wondering, is this going to be a back in black wedding date? All right, our second prediction, Thomas and Douglas set up for Heartbreak. So I see the Hope and Thomas storyline taking a turn soon. And I honestly hope that it's not going to go the way that I fear it is. Last week, Finn gave Hope a whole lot of unsolicited opinion and advice that, to me, felt very self-serving. Let's not forget that the best thing for Finn is for Liam and Hope to reconcile, because that removes the threat to his marriage to Steffi. If Liam is back off the market, then he shouldn't be interfering in Finn's marriage. So while I do like Finn a lot, I suspect his motives were more about his own self-interest than what's best for Hope Logan when he was unloading all this on her. My opinion. On Friday, we saw Hope thinking back to being in Finn's arms and him saying that she deserved someone who'd love her, but that person was not Thomas. So I'm first very worried that Hope may start fixating on Finn. I did a standalone video on it because that whole scene on Friday with her thinking about Finn really disturbed me, because it reminded me of the way that she first started thinking about Thomas. There's a video on the Bold playlist and on the recent videos. You can watch it if you want. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoy watching it. So even if it's not the case that Hope is fixating on Finn, she definitely seems very hung up on what Finn said to her about Thomas. Official spoilers from Monday, October 9th, have Hope ruminating on what Finn said about her current lover. It's weighing heavily on her. And what's also irritating about Finn is that Thomas is his brother-in-law. And it wasn't that long ago. It was a few months back that Steffi and Finn were having a conversation about Thomas. And Finn mentioned that he noticed how much Thomas has changed, because Steffi was talking about how her brother has done the work. And Finn agreed that he had, and that he'd noticed the changes, but now he's backtracking and making it something else. I feel like because he's going all out to protect his marriage to Steffi, and if that means throwing Thomas under the bus so that Hope will go back to Liam, I think Finn is totally willing to do that. Again, my opinion. I already predicted once that Hope may walk away from Thomas. She's facing a chorus of naysayers judging him for his past when he has, to me, clearly changed. I mean, he had brain surgery, for gosh sakes. Thomas also saved Liam from life in prison when he could have left the guy to rot. And Thomas has done the work. He got the therapy. He got past his obsession with Hope. And then she came along and threw her vajizzle all over him. And even with her doing that, he's not acting obsessively. Not that I have noticed. He told her he loved her. That's true. He said he's a one-woman man. That's fine. But I don't see him stalking or obsessing. He's being pretty normal and letting her drive the bus. And he's just along for the ride and enjoying what he can get from her without pressing for more. But if Hope is going to start taking a serious look at her future stepbrother, Finn, then both Thomas and Douglas could be heartbroken. I really do not like the chatter about them possibly hooking up. But when Hope starts daydreaming about a man, that means 6 months later, she's playing hop on pop on his lap, at least if she keeps doing the way she has been. So I really don't want Douglas to be crushed, or Thomas for that matter. And I will definitely not like it at all if Hope cheats on Thomas. But she did just warn Taylor that she might be turning into her mother. Can you even imagine? What if Hope for the future turns into the new version of the slut from the valley? Mind you, I don't like the S word. I'm just quoting Stephanie Forrester. But to me, it feels like Brad Bell might actually go there. I hope he doesn't. And this is a case where I hope my prediction is 100% wrong. I hope it is. I don't think it is, but time will tell. All right, our third and final prediction before I address this contract nonsense is Luna's mom hates the Forresters, and I think it's because of a grudge done against her daddy. So when they first teased this new character in the season 37 spoilers, they simply referred to her as a fashion student with a mysterious past. So I was planning to do a standalone video. I told you guys I was going to do one on who she was and who her family was, because I was really hoping that she was linked to Michael Lai, a blast from the past. But they revealed it before I got the chance to do the video. They went the easy route and they linked her to the only other Asian on Bold and the Beautiful, which to me is a statement on the lack of diversity in and of itself and pretty lazy writing. So it turns out she is Lee Finnegan's niece and her mother's name is Poppy. We don't know Lee's maiden name, so right now we don't know Poppy's last name. I mean, it could be Nozawa, but I would assume that Poppy might have been married to, I don't even know. So we know that Luna's last name is Nozawa. We don't know if that's Lee's maiden name, if that's Poppy's name. I'm sure we'll find out. So that makes her Lee, that makes Luna the cousin of good Dr. Finn. That's fine. But what was the deal with the freak out that her mom had about her working at Forrester Creations? That has me assuming somehow that the fashion family did her family dirty. That has me wondering, maybe is she the offspring of a Forrester male or a Maroon male, given Ridge's true bloodline? Luna Nozawa should be about 21 to 25, given the actress's age and that she's in college, but I assume, probably senior. And the actress playing her mom, Poppy, is 51. So that would place a potential baby daddy anywhere from, say, mid to late 40s all the way into their 60s. But given that Luna is kissing RJ Forrester next week, that's a confirmed spoiler for Wednesday, October 11th, I can only assume that she's not a Maroon by blood, aka not a child of Ridge Forrester, or else that would be completely disgusting. While we do not yet know her whole backstory, I would hope that B&B isn't making Luna a brother or cousin kisser. But that leaves 3 Forrester males as baby daddy possibilities if Bold is tying her to the Legacy family by birth. So in the right age bracket is Eric Forrester, for starters. He is no blood relation to RJ, so her kissing his adoptive grandson wouldn't technically be genetically icky. Eric is on the old side, but of the 3 Forresters that we are going to discuss, he's actually the only one that wouldn't make this into a potentially incestuous and creepy situation. There's also Thorne Forrester and Rick Forrester. Are they possibilities? Well, Rick was born on screen in 1990, and he's been aged up a few times. The last actor who played him, Jacob Young, is in his mid-40s. That's the right age to be Luna's potential dad, but Rick being her dad would be a huge problem because he is the son of Brooke and Eric, and Rick is RJ's brother/uncle. I mean, wholly intermarried families, Batman. So technically, it would make Luna the niece/cousin of RJ if I'm doing the math on this bad family tree that doesn't branch properly. So Rick is a hard no as her potential dad. But what about Thorne? So Thorne is definitely the right age to have fathered Luna in his 20s, and his parents are Eric and Stephanie. But that's also a problem because Stephanie is RJ's biological grandma and would be Luna's biological grandma if Thorne was her dad. So no, I see no possibilities of a baby daddy coming from the Forrester mansion aside from Eric. Eric is the only one who could be her dad if her dad is a Forrester, to make her kissing RJ next week not the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on a soap opera. So it can't be anybody that has popped out of either Brooke or Stephanie's lady bits. Just facts. It can't be. So maybe Poppy, Luna's mom, is holding a grudge against the Forresters for some other reason. I personally would like it a lot better if Luna were a Spectra, a Garrison, a Spencer, or somebody else random. But the Forrester grudge is food for thought. So what do you guys think? A Spectra or a Garrison or a Spencer offspring would make it possible for Poppy to hate the Forresters and somehow think that they did her baby daddy dirty. Her being Storm Logan's kid wouldn't make sense either, so I'm not looking for that. And some tabloids are going way out on a limb suggesting Luna might be Finn's biological sister, and they're saying that Poppy slept with her sister Lee's husband. It's not like Jack Finnegan isn't a dog. He bedded Sheila and they made Finn, but so far there's no signs to indicate that. And if that was the case, that would not explain her mom's paranoia about the Forresters. So I think that whole thing with Luna and Finn being siblings is hogwash. That's what I think. All right. Hey, I'm going to dig into this contract stuff real quick, but if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe, click like if you enjoyed this, and definitely drop your comments on what you're hoping to see. Real quick on this John McCook contract news, I do not want to do a deep dive because I've already showed the receipts in other videos. I'm just going to show you a couple things right here. So if you are someone who saw the TV Insider article about John McCook renewing his contract and thought, oh, well, that seals it because that is a reputable outlet who wouldn't report something that's not true. All right. So when they first published their story, they cited no sources. They said, quote, according to reports, and then, quote, reportedly, without substantiating the claim at all. Then someone in the comments roasted TV Insider for not citing a source and just doing what all the clickbait sites were doing. So then TV Insider went in and edited their article. And if I recall correctly, I don't even know if they put a note at the top like you're supposed to, edited. Anyway, so what they did was they changed it to cite a source that is completely, I'm not even going to say their name because they are known for fan fiction labeled as spoilers. It's kind of embarrassing. But I guess, I don't know, maybe TV Insider didn't want to admit they didn't have a legitimate source and were jumping on the bandwagon. Again, I'm not going to mention it, but suffices to say, the initial, this whole thing started from an Indian website called Coop WB that picked up a 2011 Soaps.com article that credited CBS Soaps in Depth for his contract news. A picture was 12 years old. The article was 12 years old. CBS Soaps in Depth has been out of business for years. This one Indian site did it. I don't blame the Indian site. They don't know what any of this is. They're just trying to get clicks from America for money, right? There is no John McCook contract renewal confirmation. But now a bunch of other sites feel comfortable reporting it, and they're citing TV Insider. So this whole thing is just insane. There is no way, people, that CBS would allow anybody to confirm a contract renewal during a life and death storyline where they want fans to wonder, will he live or die? This is just a tsunami of clickbait that started with an Indian website misquoting a 2011 article. And all these people that have piled on probably now feel like they can't admit that they said something that was BS. And they're just gonna double down and hope that it can't be proved because the network wouldn't come out and say, no, he's not on contract. Y'all, just don't, okay? This is all BS. Nobody has anything to substantiate it. It all follows on from this one clickbait thing from India, and it's just turned into this perfect storm of everybody citing somebody else, and they're all pointing fingers at each other so that no one is held accountable. I hold myself accountable here. If I make mistakes, I say I do. Most other places will not do that. I always tell you guys when something is an official spoiler, if it's a rumor, if it's a leak, if the source of the rumor or leak is somebody that I consider reliable, I'm very transparent with y'all, and I'm being transparent again. Do not believe this John McCook contract renewal news. It has no legs. It has no sources. It is a misreport that has turned into a trend, and now everybody's doubling down, trying to get y'all to click on their articles. That's up to you if you want to, but I know what's true about this. All right, peace out, y'all. I look forward to your comments. This has been Belynda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.